Alright, guys. Real update, real quick for the S&P 500. Hold up. Alright, guys. So, S&P 500 update. So for tomorrow, we're paying attention to oil, still in war. As long as we're above 100, we're still in war. We're still in conflicts. We're still in war. We still in conflict with Iran. Um, we're looking also at yields, in particular this price right here. So we wanted to maintain inside of here. So a sudden breakup, sudden breakout that'll shock the S&P during nighttime. I don't believe it's gonna do that right now. Let me update the Fibonacci. Dailies are marked with a solid orange line. This one's active. Goes to 8-hour candle at 8. Your center area is right here. 4 candle is red. Hooks it up right here. Mm-hmm. Yup. Then the next one should be somewhere here. Mm-hmm. We're gonna bounce down here, create support, go back up, try one more time, struggle on the 50, go back to below, break it. Or we're gonna start breaking down here. That's gonna give some ease to the market and just focus on the war on oil and FOMC and Nvidia. Still a lot of things, but the more or less we gotta focus on, because think about it, how this began. This began as just paying attention to the war. Remember that last year Christmas rally didn't happen. We were having some turbulence, and after January, February, I knew we're gonna go on up, and then the whole war, all of a sudden, he decides to attack, and then that's when the market just drops from the fear, just plain fear, all the way down fear. Once we hear the good news with the war, the market recovers because he's talking again, and the market goes up just from emotions of the war being over, not because of data, not because of earnings, not no data. So now this week we don't have no data really, but Thursday. What a coincidence! That's the data that the Fed is pays attention to. So tomorrow's Fed is normally gonna come out at 12 o'clock. Let me check real quick. 2 o'clock. So that's 1, 12, 11. 11. It's probably just gonna be a report. Um, and then after that, it's probably gonna be neutral or bad news for the market. The market is gonna, it's already expecting bad news. So the only thing that's looking forward to, the only thing that people are really betting on the S&P going up is Nvidia's earnings. So if Nvidia's earnings has good earnings, but just like in other stocks do, where it's good earnings, it's this and that, but they mention a keyword in the report, in the market, futures opens down hard, and so does the rest of the stock market because Nvidia mentioned something bad or a certain number came out bad. And with that along, it's gonna pull the S&P 500 down to this region down here, and you're gonna have, if we break down here tomorrow or below somewhere here because of the bad news on futures, what's gonna be saving us during the nighttime, especially during this time, no, especially from two, especially if we go down um, Wednesday morning and night, China's gonna push it down more, and then Europe's gonna create support and start going up as we get closer to 3, 4 in the morning because we have jobless claims coming out at 5:30 in the morning, along with all this other bullshit. But in particular, it's this one. So if this one doesn't save us, we're gonna continue going on down, and the market's gonna start panicking, and Nvidia's gonna start it all, start everything off, or Nvidia's gonna save us. That's why today, right now, I was looking at it, and I was like, we have a 1 hour 50 Fibonacci here, and a 4 hour candle 50 Fibonacci right here. We had this weekly area that we tried to break the whole day, and we failed, and we haven't broken, especially at your sweet times, which was your 11, 12 o'clock area, then your 3:45. It's a 3:45 to 4:30. Nothing happened. And then once we come to your 7:45, 8:30, instead of holding that and going on down to then closing here at 10, it reversed. So this is right here. I'm like, all right, cool. Europe is taking in control and is now recovering because again, the whole goal of the market was to close right here. It was to close here in this region. On my last live, I said the market is either gonna close in this region, which is 7,377 um, inside of this box, and if not, I said 60% here or 40% we're gonna close here. And if we do go down, we're gonna come down to the bottom of this box, which is 7,334. I said, but that's the worst scenario. If anything, we're gonna hold here China's gonna come hold this, and depending if Europe it's either gonna start dropping at your 11:45, 12:30, or we're gonna start going up at 11:45, 12:30, which is right now. So since these two key areas, especially this one, didn't break on down, and this one started continuing going up, it's just playbook. Then from here, Europe is gonna bring it on up and barely holding on here. We already went on a day trade. Going on wait for another buy. You also gotta wait for any unpredictable move during the nighttime. That's why I'm paying attention to yields. That's why yields are maintaining down. It's a good time to go also for a buy. Also, because again, we're waiting for Nvidia tomorrow. So if anything, by the morning, if anything, we're just gonna be somewhere here. I don't see the market breaking the weekly here, 5 and 6, and going up or whatever. I just expect the market to break on up and touch this 50 Fibonacci and play in this area from 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, close here, and then 3 and 4 just play. And this is mainly gonna be our area. I'll be surprised if we pass this at 6:30 or 7, but I believe we're gonna be stuck here for a while, maybe 9, and then start going up. But yeah, we're still also this indicator here. This in the 15-minute time frame, there's a bottom that we normally hit. This right here, and that's what creates support. We've been flat. We've been flat, so we create the bottom. We've been flat, along with what we're expecting to. This is why I believe we're gonna start going up. It's just that you gotta pay attention to your 11:45 to 30. Also, you got my indicator telling you that this is your breakout. So I'm gonna go in right now in the trade. These are our next targets. Um, so yeah, but the market at the same time isn't that optimistic looking forward to it. But Nvidia is the only thing. If it wasn't for Nvidia, the market will be dropping right now instead of fucking looking forward to the Fed. You think the market is saying, yo, let's stay, let's start buying shares, let's start moving the market up because the FOMC report is gonna be good. It's gonna be saying about interest rate cuts coming in next month. Next time it's no, we're gonna start hearing bad news. The only thing that we're paying attention to right now is Nvidia, and that's what's moving the market over nighttime. I will go over more with all my other shit, but as you can see, I have a whole bunch of drawings to you guys. Um, but besides that, let me see what Nvidia. I mean, what ChatGPT has told me so far. Alright, so we're already over the Asian market. Alright, for 3 p.m. Now we're in the Europe London session. As you can see, notice how what China plays, what Asia plays in this area. 392, 377, resistance band, and that's what we're trying to break through right now. 392 will be right here. Yup, those will be your next. Yeah, see, this area is gonna be hard to pass. You can see the weekly right here. So that's a week. So it's gonna be hard to pass. And that's why I don't see the market going up and breaking this at 3, 4, 5. But I could be wrong. Mm, what else? What else we gonna say about this? Also, this is a 8-hour trend line. Let me show you that the market has been on. And we normally broke it. We're gonna close this 8-hour candle at 2 in the morning or 6 in the morning. Yeah, 2 in the morning. So this will be the real first 8-hour candle, 4-hour candle that closed above that 8-hour trend line. Again, more momentum, more bullishness. Let me see where the resistance bands are at. See right here. So we're gonna shoot up here, start wicking, and start. This is where you're getting your next target. Watch. Anyways, besides that, we have 4-hour candle, 50 Fibonacci. Oh yeah, back to this. This is the mover right here. This is the only fucking reason why the market would go up, especially Europe. Europe would take advantage of this, get the positions in right here, and let the market go expectations with Nvidia. This is the same fucking playbook that they do. If not, the 11:45 area would have fucking pulled back already. Would have gone down. We would have been scared of the FOMC report tomorrow because we know we're getting bad news. So therefore, this is why the market is doing this because we're waiting for Nvidia. Nvidia may become the trigger for the market next major direction session. Yeah, no fucking shit. This is your next bitch to pay attention to right here. Yields. Yields are going down. That gives the market that relief that we don't gotta pay attention to that. So the market's gonna be able to move a little instead of having those high yields candles. High yields directly compete with equities. If yields continue climbing, capital may rotate. Yup. Out of high valuation growth stocks. Yup. This creates serious ticketing pressure on the S&P, mega cap techs. Yes, sir. The Fed. Yeah, they are. They're gonna keep rates pushed away for a long time, especially with the war going on. With the yields being high. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah, It's the same shit. Every time they've been talking, they've been saying, "Yo, we can't come up with we can't say nothing because we're data dependent." So they're gonna say the same shit. So the only thing that's gonna fucking watch the market not react at 11 o'clock to it. It's not gonna be like, oh, look at the FOMC, boom, skyrocket. No, it's gonna fucking just be like, oh, okay, cool. Once it gets to 12:45, 1 o'clock, you're gonna see more action, more movement toward the upside of the expectation for Nvidia or whatnot. hmm And supposedly, Trump said that he was gonna strike them, but supposedly his buddies said no, and that's the only reason why he stopped. That's weird. President Trump delayed a planned strike on Iran, creating a temporary geopolitical pause. Wow. I'm pretty sure it wasn't to create less pressure on the market. Can the market maintain a historical elevation value while yields are so high, all sales elevated? Yep, that's a lot. That's a lot right there. All right, so that's what I got from ChatGPT. Let's go to the 15, and this what's gonna happen. Either at 2 o'clock we're gonna end up peaking here, and then coming back down into these regions and bullshit here, consolidate in this region, or we're gonna close here at 2 and start climbing, and by 4 or 6 be here and just bullshit here, or we could be so scared that you're gonna see London making sales here and going down. And as we go down to 3 and 4 in the morning, the market opens. We go back down and we start dying, going down, breaking this area, which is very bloody, bloody bad. To help you out, which direction the market is going is, like I said, check with Bitcoin and Ethereum. You see how strong it is. But again, it could just be a consolidating stage right here. Same thing with Ethereum. Same thing with XRP. They're all sharing. XRP and Ethereum were telling me, yo, buddy, we're about to fucking start falling down. Especially when we start falling this morning throughout the whole day. Now, what told me that we weren't going down was Ethereum. Ethereum's holding above a weekly 50 Fibonacci. And not just that, it's holding above a 3 monthly right here. So the fact that it's hanging above 3 monthly support, and then also this is 50% of this move right here. And not just that, it's 50% of the weekly Fibonacci, like I said right now, but and then putting all this together, and then we have a trend line happening right here. So if that bad news comes down and we break that, we're gonna come back to that crucial trend line that it's on right now. I think it comes all the way from, yeah. Let me see, I think from right here. right here. It's right here. So we'll have the, so anyways, you see how Ethereum was flat here the whole time, same as Bitcoin, but also same as S&P. Not literally, but just how it's holding, how the fact that you'll see it, you'll see it, you'll see it. If we end up climbing throughout this morning, you'll see Bitcoin follow. Tomorrow in the morning, we have bad news, or tomorrow in the evening, and you'll see how at the same time, Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP will react to this at the same time, and the S&P 500. Anyways, put my indicator here. So, and also this is a crucial time too, because this is also a breaking point area. We just broke through the strong daily support slash resistance. As you can see, after we went down, this is made the main area where the market rotates down here. So now that we did that, along with what time it is, we come into the 11:45, 12:30 sweet spot, the shaking spot. I call this the shakeout spot. This is what the market makes you believe we're gonna start going down and all this shit, and then what you'll have is all of a sudden at 1:15, at 12:45, at um and especially again as we get closer to closing the 12-hour candle at 2 in the morning. So towards your 1:15, it'll then correct, or wherever it's going, or make a sharp upper move or down move, get you to get stop there and close it for the day or for the morning. The next one will come and then start doing the opposite and start coming on up as the market opens again. So there's areas where people get twisted and don't understand what's happening with the market, or why the market will be going the way that it's going at that time, because you gotta understand what it's looking for the next day, not what's happening right now. I gotta see what is the market looking for tomorrow, what time it is, um, especially what for candle, how did Asia market react to it? Did Asian market go for the move at 7:45 to 8:30? Did the Europe Asia to Europe sweet spot 11:45 12:30? Did it react? Did it make a move? Also, again, pay attention to if we have a pullback, where it's gonna go to, because we do remember that tomorrow there's always something that the market is going to want. There's always, unless there's nothing going on, no data, no speakers, no tweets, then the market is just gonna be flat, or make a down move throughout the night, especially after some bad news like we just have. Um, but besides that, we should go start going up from here and closing here, somewhere barely here at 2 in the morning, and barely start going up or reject, pull back to these areas, and again as we come to the mornings, start going up and break up here in the morning. All right, this is Brian Seacrest signing the fuck out, people.